Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 1st of August. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As we come into this new month, what I'm going to do is give you a flavour of what to expect for us all collectively. But please stay with me as I dive deep to give each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces a much more forensic interpretation. Now, this week does see an incredibly powerful combination of energies in the sign of Taurus. Taurus, of course, is very much about the foundation of our situations. It's about stability. It's a fixed sign. But the North Node, which moved into Taurus on the 18th of January, is almost like the karma of our attitude towards consumption, food, anything to do with consumerism, but it can also be to do with the crust of the planet as well. Now, when we put Uranus in the mix, that can be very much to do with truth, but it can also be to do with confrontation and being much more changeable in a sign that resists change, so that can create tension. And then Mars in the mix, that creates an ignition point, particularly with Uranus. So the potential for weather events that are quite extreme is definitely increased with this combination, and it can make us much more aware of the direction of travel that we're going in terms of, you know, the type of fuels that we've used traditionally and the way that we've perhaps embraced fast food rather than enjoying more rustic consumption of food and making food from scratch. That's much less popular than it ever used to be. I think Uranus can throw some light on all of this and give us a bit of a shock to look at things again. So there can be a lot of tension this week, but also the outcome of our behaviour over a period of time. Now, the Sun and Mercury, of course, the Sun's in its home zone of Leo. Mercury's there at the start of the week, but on Thursday it does move into one of its two signs that it governs, and this one is Virgo. In this case, Mercury is very much about dry precision. This is about attention to detail. And that can be a very good thing. So if you've got a creative idea, but you want to bind it into something that's more workable, then Mercury will certainly help that process. There's also on Friday a quarter moon in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this can bring up some issues to do with jealousy, possessiveness, control in any relationship, but particularly a close personal relationship. For some folks, it could mean that we're going to have a big fascination with someone, particularly with Mars and Uranus in the mix, and it could be something that's very electric, but whether it will be long lasting is another matter. Now, it just so happens that Mars and Saturn are also in a right angle this week. This is really quite challenging. This is where we have Mars, which is very much about moving quickly, instant gratification, coming up against the more resistant energies and limiting energies of Saturn. Saturn in the sign of the collective, Aquarius in a retrograde, Mars in the sign of Taurus, very much about consumption. Quickly, I want it now, that instant gratification. So I think there's going to be some more potential shocks and pushbacks around the cost of living, unfortunately. We could also see some industrial disputes with all this mix of energies, but there is, towards the end of this week, a quite enchanting link between Venus and Neptune, both in water signs, Venus in Cancer, very nurturing, and Neptune in its home sign of Pisces. If you are lucky enough to have that electric connection to someone, but there is also some more spiritual or emotional connection beyond the physical plane, then this could be a really exciting opportunity. For those of us in ongoing relationships, I think the important thing to avoid this week is being too fixed in our ideas, trying to be flexible, with four lots of fixed energy going on with the quarter moon. So we've got the Leo stuff, the Scorpio quarter moon, we've got that cluster of energy in Taurus, plus we've got the Saturn in Aquarius. There's a lot of fixed energy and then a lot of frustration can play out this week. So it's going to be important to try to keep cool But please stay with me for my in-depth examination of your sign. But if you would like to ascend above zodiac astrology and understand more about your personal astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data in terms of your time, date and place of birth, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life. But beyond that, also in my 30% off special offer package, a 12-month personal horoscope. No 2 charts are ever the same. They're completely individually produced for the person that provides that data. And if you'd like to take advantage of that, please see the link below. Finally, crash through the 100,000 subs mark. We're pretty well nearly at the 101,000 mark, may even be through it by the time you watch this. But if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. If you have done already, thank you so much. So Pisces, your week commencing the 1st of August forecast suggests that practicalities need to be grappled with. You know, how ordered things are, how efficient things are. Are you extracting the best value from the resources you've got? This is all incredibly unsexy stuff, but it's the stuff we all need to do in order to keep our lives working smoothly. So part of that process could be around your work. You know, are you doing a job that really gives you genuine satisfaction? You can be very self-sacrificing, but if you're giving that energy to someone, it needs to be a worthy cause. So that's something the Sun and initially Mercury asks you to think of. Now, if there is a situation which has been causing a bit of tension of late, Mercury's move on Thursday into your opposite sign can help you to be a bit more detached and consider the situation from the other person's viewpoint. There is a cluster of energy also in house 3. For the first time in 15 years, the North Node and Uranus, but this time with Mars, come together in a conjunction. But for you, that's all about your thinking. It's your attitude to messaging. It's your relationship with neighbours or siblings, your use of technology. There's going to be a lot of electric energy buzzing around you this week. And that's why looking after those practicalities is important, because if you're stressed out trying to keep all the basics together, I think it could cause quite a lot of extra nervous energy at this time, which could be wearing, particularly with Saturn also angling back in a sharp right angle with those energies in your 3rd house, and Saturn's in a more psychological zone. So this is a week to look after yourself, pace yourself, not immediately attend to other people's demand for your time and attention. Give yourself a little bit of space. If you have to say no, however hard you may find that, then give yourself the permission to do so. There is actually a very playful and romantic link between Venus and your ruler Neptune later this week, which really could see some kind of ray of sunshine come into this week. But generally a week where you need to manage the amount of energy that's going in and out, and that's actually underlined even more by the Scorpio quarter moon of Friday. We can't pour from an empty jar, so important to just go at your own pace, get those basics working as best you can. Just be aware that you may have quite a lot of nervous energy, and if you have, try to do some gentle but positive exercise that can help to burn off some of the extra adrenaline that may be buzzing around.